Okay, so now that we've talked about substitution and elimination, we want to talk about these application problems, which really do show up a lot. And so really it's just about getting the pattern of we need two equations and two variables. So when you read these, start thinking about what your variables are going to be. So this one says a test has 30 questions worth a total of 100 points. Each multiple choice question is worth 4 points, and each true false question is worth 3 points. How many of each type of question are on the test? So you have to figure out what are your variables, and that's your last question. How many of each type of question? So we have multiple choice. So if I was doing this, we're going to define our variables first. So m equals the number of multiple choice questions. And our other one would be true-false questions, right? So I'm going to say t equals the number of true-false questions. So what do I know? There's a total of 30 questions. So could I say the number of multiple choice plus the number of true-false has to equal the number of questions, which is 30. We need another equation. And to me, it's always easier to pick out what it equals. So like the other big number I know is something is a total of 100 points. So I need to write an equation that has to do with the points. So each multiple choice question is worth 4 points. So that would be 4m. And each true-false question is worth 3 points. So that would be 3t. And as soon as you have your two equations, you can then use substitution or elimination. Again, I'm an elimination fan, so I'm going to use elimination, but I need to make these eliminate with one of these. And so I'm just going to make my m's eliminate. So to make those eliminate, I'm going to multiply by -4, so then they'll already cancel out. So remember, that means I multiply everything by -4 here. So that would become minus 4t, and then that would be negative 120. So when I solve this now, negative 4m eliminates. 3t minus 4t is negative t. 100 minus 120 is negative 20. So divide by negative, and I get that there are 20 true false. And this one's pretty easy to go back. If there's 30 questions altogether, how many multiple choice are there? Well, 30 minus 20 is 10. So there are 10 multiple choice questions, and there are 20 true false questions. And yes, you could probably guess and check for these, but I want us to practice writing the systems, okay? So let's look at another one. It says Lancaster. Okay. There's a city in Kentucky spelled like this, but we say Lancaster. We don't say Lancaster. If I want to sound like I'm from Kentucky, I can say Lancaster Woodworkers Furniture builds 2 types of wooden outdoor chairs. A rocking chair that sells for $265, and an Adirondack chair with a footstool that sells for $320. The books show that last month the business earned $13,930 for 48 outdoor chairs sold. How many of each chair were sold? So again, right away when I read that statement that I say each chair, I know that that is my variables, right? So we have a rocking chair, so I'm going to say R equals the number of rocking chairs. And I have an Adirondack chair, so I'm just going to say A equals the number of Adirondack chairs. What else do I know right away? Well, I got 2 things, right? I got a total amount of money. So one of my equations needs to be set equal to that. And the other one is I know there's a total of 48 chairs. So make sure money stays with money and your other numbers stay with that. You want to retake something? So money stays with money. So how much does the rocking chair cost? Rocking chair sells for $265, so that's $265R. And the Adirondack chair sells for $320, so that's $320C. Money stays with money, all right? Don't put money down here with the 48, because there's only a total of 48 chairs. So rocking chairs plus Adirondack chairs, let's change my variables there, has to equal 48. And this is where you could do substitution or elimination here to do this. I did elimination on the last one, so I'm going to do substitution on this one just to show you, but you could totally do elimination as well. So it doesn't matter which one we solve for because both of these would be pretty easy to solve for. But I could subtract the r there and say a equals 48 minus r. So I could take that and plug it in right here. So that would be 265r plus 320 times 48 minus r equals 13,930 to work that out. So 320 times 48 is 15,000. So I get 265r plus 15,360 minus 320r equals 13,930. So this is all on the same side, right? So 265 minus 320 is negative 55r. And at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 15,360 over. So 13,930 minus 15,360. And I get negative 1,430. So I'm going to divide by negative 55, which is good because it's going to cancel out the negative. And I get that they sold 26 rocking chairs. And since I know there were just 48 altogether sold, right, that's where I can take 48 minus 26 to get what? 22 Adirondack chairs sold. Okay? So you kind of see the process of it. So I'm going to save this one. At Amy's Amusement Park, tickets sell for $24.50 for adults and $16.50 for children. On Sunday, the amusement park made $6,405 from selling 330 tickets. How many of each kind was sold? So think about what your variables would be and see if you could set up these equations, and then we'll talk about this one in class tomorrow.